G'day, Steeler Nation. How you going? It's Mark here, Mark Davidson from Steeler Nation Australia.
What's going on? Let's continue! What's that? Let's go! Baby! Yes! Yes! Let's go!
What's the deal with the schedule?
So I think the stereotypes that we drink Fosters, and the first Foster I saw was in Pittsburgh. It's a true story.
Yeah,
The first ever Foster I saw was in America. I've never
Well, I
seen one
thought that
here.
was like Australia for beer.
For what? Alrighty, Steelers Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. I still love that intro, by the way, and thank you to McCracken Music and Cameron out there. I never said it right, NSMC99 for the music. And I second that. I can't say it, but I second it. G'day, 46, what's going on? I hope everyone's doing really well. In the news front, nothing totally crazy. They've been, talking about practice. That's from, I don't know what basketball player said that. We're talking about practice. Practice? We're talking about practice. Nothing too overly crazy in the news cycle. I know that Bubba was out there from Steelers Dynasty Podcast, and apparently he's got me some cool interviews too. So some interviews or videos or something along those lines. Maybe he's talking to Christian 46. I think he talked to Cameron Johnston. G'day, Yoda. What's going on? Let me check. Is my audio on? Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's on. Right. He talked to Cameron Johnston. But we're in that time, it's just, I love it all. I do. But I'm getting really keen for a game. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting keen for August 9th, Steelers versus Texans. Preseason game, because I can watch highlights of training camp, but obviously not being there, I can't I can't judge it all. You go off what the writers are saying, what people are saying, what YouTubers are saying, what viewers are saying, right? So, g'day, Kelly, what's going on? That's a bloke, isn't it? Yeah. Allen Iverson. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. And yeah, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about Russell Wilson. Also, I want to bring up as well, who's the other quarterback? Kyle Allen. If you go back and watch his interview today with Missy Matthews, and I think Craig Wolfley there on Steelers.com or Steelers YouTube, it's fantastic. He's got quite of a sense of humor to him as well. Not saying he's going to be quarterback number one, although I left a comment like that, but he's quite funny. He's quite funny in his responses. So I know that Russell Wilson has been out for like 4 or 5 days or 4 days, and he strained his calf muscle. The internet now is going with a blaze saying Justin Fields is going to be quarterback number one competition. And I think we expected this to happen, right? We definitely should have expected this to happen no matter who was turning up. The minute that Russell Wilson struggles, they're going to revert back to quarterback number two. The minute that Fields struggles, they're gonna go back to quarterback number three. That's how it always happens. But I still stay firm in that I think Russell Wilson will be the guy being number one. And also, he can't lose a job that he hasn't even tried to play yet. So health could be concerning. That's for sure. But let's go through the chat, see who's in the house, and break down some stuff. Is my thing? I thought it was frozen. G'day, Sean. What's going on? Shout out to Glasgow Rangers Nation. That's Owen. If you remember Britsburg Owen on his Steelers channel. I don't know if he has it anymore. So he's reaching out. G'day, mate. It must be like, I think it's like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. for you over there. G'day, Jennifer. What's up? G'day, JJ52. And we're going a bit early today too. A little bit earlier. Because last time I went, I think it was live like 1 a.m. for your 1 a.m. G'day to Sean. G'day, 99. What's good, Bob? Just a mistake. What's good? That's true. I should bring him back. I've been so busy, man. I haven't been able to do any skits or anything like that. I had an idea the other day. I was going to do an idea where I was going to come onto the show, right? And I was going to have a sore wrist and go, oh, I can't. And then Bobby would take over for the rest of the show. You know, in terms of Russell Wilson having a sore calf. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have been pushing his sled. You know what I'm saying? There's been some feedback around that. Fans aren't too happy that he's pushing his sled. But these injuries happen. What are you meant to do? And Tomlin had one of the best responses too, by the way. If you go back and watch Tomlin's press conference today, it's so funny. I'm gonna clip it. I will make that today. The video will come out after this. I'm gonna grab the audio, do my reaction to it. It is so funny. I didn't have time this morning, right? When Tomlin goes through all the injury report and the next steps going forward into next week with the pads go on, right? He said Wilson should be back or Wilson will see time next week. And the immediate follow-up question from the media is, will Wilson play, or what time will Wilson play? And Mike Tomlin's response is, I just told you. I just said to you he's coming back next week. So yeah. G'day, Zaya. What's going on? We should definitely try and do another podcast, Zaya, maybe before the season starts. Try and catch up. So check out Zaya and the Steelers on his channel. G'day, Thomas. What's going on? G'day, Yoda. Kelly in the house. G'day, Sean. G'day, Futu or FU2. I don't know if I can say. I can't say your one. If I say FU2, then maybe YouTube will probably go after me. So I'll just call you. I always get stuck on you. If I say FU, I'll call you F. No, I can't say that. I'll just say 2. G'day, 2. What's going on? I feel like YouTube won't be too happy if I start saying that. They'll pick it up. G'day, Derby. What's going on? Yeah, not the game. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. That's a basketball reference that's still pretty funny. G'day, 412. I will come back to that question in a minute. Who else in the house? And g'day, Chris. Fields needs the unpadded practice for the first team stuff to work on. I have been seeing that, right? If you look all around the internet, from all the reporters, from Saunders to Nick Farabaugh to whoever's there, right? There's a lot of guys there. Even there's a lot of big media guys there from the main NFL. They said today, I think, that Fields were throwing good passes. Then, g'day, Toddy. Fields was throwing a good pass, and then next minute he was in trouble. So he'd run for a scramble, run for a few yards, and then he'd throw a interception to, I think, the safety, Elliott, right? So, of course, it's worked. There's things to be worked on. But to me, I really want to see him again, if I can see him again in that actual game setting. Like, practice is fine. It's great. You go for all your reps, getting the body back to order, back to work. But I think we still need to see as fans, and we're always kicking the can down the road, right? We want to see him in a game. I want to see Wilson in a game. I want to fast forward a little bit and just watch the Falcons game too. Oh yeah, let's get him on. Yeah, I just talked to Bubba and said he would jump on. Yeah, if he wants to. Dead set. If you have contact with Bubba, let him know. I'll send him a link. Because is he there? I think he's there. I'm pretty sure that Bubba is there at camp. Hang on. Let me send him a link and he can jump on whenever he wants to. That's cool. That's one good thing about you guys being over there. And of course, for some friggin' reason, they made me a Steelers fan in Australia. That's what they did to me. Yeah. I'll send him a link now. And if he wants to stream to his one, he can. So we can do a dual stream. It won't be 24 hours or a draft stream, but hooey dooey. Yeah, let me do that. Because he was saying to me that he had some videos. Hang on. Wait up. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I had some videos from some players and stuff like that. Alrighty. Yes. Derby's going too. Sorry, this is why I should do lives later. I always find when I jump on, I haven't talked yet, and my voice is all. So, g'day, Matt Quinn. Derby says he's going to camp later on this Saturday. There you go. And Chris says 5-2, the offense won. Yeah, and that's going to happen. But I also find too, like, I think you'll see these big plays, and I'm not a football player, but you'll see these big plays happen. And what can the defense really do sometimes? Can the defense, you'll see Warren or Nanji get to the second level and run away for 40 yards. But the play's probably already over by then. You'll see Fields run out. And I'm not picking on Fields, but you'll see Fields run out of a sack. They can't hit him. Do you know what I mean? They can't hit someone. So, g'day TD, what's going on? G'day Blue Nose. Man. I think Bubba was there at practice earlier. I think he's still there. Cool. What time is it though? I don't even know what time. What time is it? Do they do? Oh no, hang on. It's 9 p.m. Far out. Man, I'm kind of waiting. I'm waiting for the daylight savings. When I gain an hour, I think it becomes 8. 100%. Yeah, I agree. Imagine what does smoking feel. Yeah, imagine if it was like, imagine if he stood back there and TJ Watt, they did an interview after the play, and then Fields just gets lit up, like just gets lit up completely. Steps back in his rep, goes, is that hot? Runs back, little ball. Fields like runs back and then goes whoosh. And then just like absolutely tears him to pieces. Imagine the media coverage you have on that. And TJ, why did you feel like you wanted to absolutely bury your quarterback, your maybe potential franchise quarterback into the ground? And he's like, I just saw red. I just saw the guy. I just saw quarterback and I ran over. Yeah, 100%. It's always really hard. To me, when I watch the highlight stuff, right? It's really hard for me to judge the defense because, yeah, you can make plays on the ball. You can do pass breakups. But there's certain parts when Alex Highsmith or TJ have to let up. Or you'll see him do a rep. And they won't have that full contact physicality. Do you know what I mean? Not until really we see pads on or do we see, backs on backers or things like that. Or maybe you have a 7-on-7 drill with some like live hitting. But at the same time, you don't want to lay out your prize receiver, nor do you want to lay out your quarterback too. Yeah, dude. That's awesome. Sean says Fields is comp player would be Lamar, who can't throw us all. It's kind of crazy too because Lamar Jackson's been really sick and we don't know what's happening there. So I'll be honest, I'm not going to really comment on Lamar Jackson's health. I don't really, I don't like the Ravens. But there's something happening where he's not attending practices. He's going home early. Someone's saying he's got some really bad, I don't know, maybe some gut infection or something like that. But Lamar is in a bit of world of hurt, I think, with sickness. I don't know what's happening. It's kind of crazy. Before we get into more Steelers talk, Lamar's diarrhea. Well, I don't know what it is, eh? I legit don't know what it is. Derby says, do I dare bring a sign saying first Steelers game? Are you allowed to bring signs? That reminds me of like the WWE. When you have a sign, right? In the WWE, you have a sign saying the guy behind me can't see. That's what I would do. Right, but I do got some news, guys. G'day, Bernie. I feel like there's more 11. I keep getting chats in here, and I feel there's more than 11 people. I think my thing's fucking up. It says 11 people, but I feel like there's more than that. Maybe it's just playing up. HDU, fantastic. Alrighty. Oh, you have. Hang on. Wait. I do like this. I remember. Hang on. I do like. Don't answer it yet. Don't answer it yet. Because if people don't know, I do like this joke. I think you said it before. What's the difference between a raven and a crow? And then you can respond. Pittsburgh Toddy 86. What's the difference between a raven and a crow? I do like this. I think it's great. All right, now I'm gonna break some news to you guys. If you already know from last week, but I've got a bit of a announcement to have for this channel and myself. Yeah, I do. I'm all over it, dude. I love talking football. I love meeting new people. I don't know that bloke's name. I can't remember his name. Is it the Big B or someone like that? But he's a good bloke. He's got a really good channel too. But I do have another announcement as well. But yeah, if you can tell me the end of that joke, it's fantastic. All right, where is it? Hang on, because I think I know the answer. Yeah, you can promote it if you want to, Derpy. It's up to you. I'm okay with it. Just don't spam it. Okay. So, I'm also starting a new adventure. Yeah, dude, I'm so sick of that, I really am sick of it, man. G'day, Corky, what's going on? Yeah, I don't think we need to. But yeah, Derby, you can promote your channel if you want to, man. I'm okay with that. Just don't spam it. So on this channel, of course, I've been doing Steeler Nation Australia. Like, it's been a bit slow in terms of news. I've been really busy, so I haven't been doing that much content that would have liked to be doing. I did, been talking. I've just been really picking players who I want to talk about, like the Peyton Wilson one. I want to talk about also with Frymouth. I think Frymouth is going to have a huge year. I was thinking he might even have like 80 catches. I think Frymouth's going to be big for us this year. I think he's going to be big in the terms of leadership in the locker room. Maybe he can become one of his favorite targets. Can be Wilson. Wilson to Frymouth can be a bit of a connection. I think he can lead these guys around. Tom Mazzani, the receiver coach, has been doing a lot of things too with this group in terms of really getting the receivers, in order, in check, and being like a professional, right? So you love to see that. You can be athletic and be all that you can be, and but you got to be disciplined, skillful, all that kind of stuff. So I like what Frymouth brings to the table in terms of tight ends, and maybe he can improve on his blocking and get open space and get 10 yards, 12 yards. I think he this year gets like 80 catches, right? So yeah, I won't be announcing the A trade, but I do want to announce, guys, and I think I should be good enough to announce it right now. I think I've signed enough, got signed, dotted the I's, crossed the T's, all over the board. So I will be working for these guys, and I'm going to try and get the link for you. It is called AFC North Roundtable, and okay, let me just premise the fact too. I cannot stand the fucking Bengals, but I will talk to a person who is a Bengals fan. I'm not against that. So when I have my issues with the Bengals, and I hope when guys go on the chat, if you do come and join me on the AFC North Roundtable, it starts like the 8th of August, like Wednesday night, 6 p.m., my Thursday, 8 a.m. I cannot stand the Bengals. However, I will have a conversation with a Bengals fan. I'm not against the fans. I just want the fans never to be happy. Do you know what I mean? And that sounds bad, but I never want the Bengals fans to enjoy the success we have. So I don't like the club, but I will talk to these fellas. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting time, because what we're doing, is that a fucking truck out my window? What we're doing is I'm joining these guys on the AFC North Roundtable, and we have, if I scroll down, we have Bobby Baltimore. So he's a bloke that covers Baltimore. I think he worked with the Ravens for a few years, like in the media. Cincinnati is the Bengals guy. Chef Zay is the Browns guy. And on the AFC North Roundtable, I am Steelers Nation Australia, representing the Steelers at my time of 8 a.m. So if you want to join this, I will be promoting this on my channel at least like once a week. And I think, once a week I'll be promoting it in a community chat or bring it up in a video. And it's a bit of fun. So I will put this into the chat. Thank you, Yui, mate. G'day, Yui. That's awesome. You're a member for 18 months. Isn't that wild? That's crazy. I can't believe we've been doing that. That's crazy. So I'll leave the link in the description. G'day, Rod. Rod's in the house somewhere too. Did Rod sneak in? Where is he? There he is. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. Playoffs. We're just trying to win a game. Yeah. So I got you in the house. That's crazy, dude. I'm on so many different tangents. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Try and do a fucking podcast. Can you? What are you meant to do? Can you hear it? Jesus Louises. What the fuck? So it's just like never stops around here, mate. What was I saying? Yeah, sorry, I'm on so many different tangents, but if you know me by now in the last few years, it's just the way it goes. I'm trying to stay focused, but I can't. So yeah, I'm going to be joining these fellas. Where am I? Whoops. These fellas on the AFC North Roundtable every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So it's going to be on that channel. So essentially, like I'm like representing them. I do some content for them, and then we grow the channel, have fun, but have some good discussion. Hopefully, have a good time as well. So yeah, Bobby Baltimore, Cincinnati Chefs A, and Mark Me from Steelers Nation Australia, AFC North Roundtable. But I do know as well in these certain things, like I'll be honest, in these certain adventures, they can become like quite toxic. I think sometimes too, where there's like four different fan bases in one chat going hammer and tongs. So if you guys join me over there, like I'm not going to say what you can and can't say, but it would be kind of cool to see some, just treat it with respect. Like don't go after the host on all fronts. If it's me or if it's the other blokes, you go after the team. You say the Ravens suck. You say the Bengals suck and they haven't won a championship in 58 years. You say that the Cleveland Browns suck because they haven't won a championship since 1958. That's what you go after. You don't go after the person, right? But it's all cool because I'm keen to have a bit of discourse and a bit of fun as well. So I'll be doing that every single week, hopefully, to represent our Steelers and have a good time. So if you want to click that link, you can, but I will be promoting this a fair bit over the next week or so. And yeah, come and help represent out the Steelers and also represent Steel Nation Australia and HDU for that little adventure. Right. But another thing I want to talk about is this. I cannot believe, what's that mean? Skiddy? What is that? What's that mean? Is that ski biddy? What's ski biddy Riz? What's that mean? Should I even look this up? What? Okay, I've never heard that in my life. That's quite odd. Anyways, besides that little thing there, that members the members thing's been going for 18 months. That is quite crazy. That is HDU for 18 months. That is insane. That is the amount of support that you've put behind this channel is I cannot even put into words how thankful I am for that. I think Yuli was one of the first members, and Yuli's been on the program a few times, and Yuli's always welcome to come on the program too and say hello. And thank you for the gifted as well. Yuli's done quite a lot for the Steel Nation Australia channel in terms of memberships, in terms of providing entertainment content, just good Steel football, good backing, good support. So I thank you for that. The fact that you've been a member for 18 months is just insane. And that's to all the members out there who have supported this channel somehow, some way. So that to me is, I never expected that 3 years ago when that was going to happen, where, you put something, you put your heart into it, and then people give back to you like that. It is unbelievable. We're starting to pick up more now into this season, where next week I'll be going live and watching football when I'm going to have some beers. I'm probably going to get really drunk because it's the first time I can watch football in a long time versus the Texans. I don't care. I want to see us win. I want to see some good football. I want to see Beanie Bishop. They've been talking him up a fair bit too. So I really appreciate the memberships of people who give their time, their energy, their hard-earned coin, their money that goes my direction. So I really enjoy that. That's fantastic. That's a good part of the internet, right? That's a really good part of there's a lot of bad parts of the internet. That's a good part of the internet. So I appreciate that. Oh, that's crazy. I wish, dude. I wish. I wish they were. Hang on. Gotta change this up. Yeah, I wish they were doing that. In what reference? Does that mean the memberships? You have to give me more clarification in what reference? My boomerish show. Oh, I like that too. Bungles suck, Brown suck, Ravens are fried. That's fantastic. Yeah. As best you can. As best you can. I know I'm gonna try and do it. Oh my God. I'm just having so much fun reading the chat. It's unreal. Derby says the Steelers haven't finished last since the division. Yeah, that's crazy. I was born in 1989. Think about that. 35 years they've never finished last, right? Oh yeah, dude. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst things, I think, like doing this stuff. Also, it's kind of weird talking to no one. Like it's strange talking to a wall. Like I've got my Terry Bradshaw, little Funko Pop thing that I bought years ago, right? I've got Big Ben over here. I've got my Tunch Ilkin book that I need to read, but I'm not a reader, so I haven't started reading it. I've got all this stuff, right? I've got everything here. I've got this freaking book, bro. I have this book that I need to read, and I'm not a reader. I'm just so distracted by everything, so I don't read. But I need to read this. I read like a page of it. I need to do it. I got stuff everywhere. I got things all over the planet, all over the shop. So thank you to all the members and everyone like that. You guys are fantastic, man. These comments are, there's a big chance, Corky. There's a big chance, I reckon. There's a big chance for sure. All right, I'm coming back down to the other comments. Yeah. That's insane, right? I like that your boomer is showing. Yes. All right, so let's get some news. Sorry, it's enough of me doing thank yous. So really, the news that I've seen recently, in terms of what's happening, I think storyline driven. Let's start with something different first. Troy Faetano, I think, was doing reps today on the right tackle. I think he was stepping up. I think Zach Frazier was doing reps too. But that's going to happen. Like, that's naturally, they're going to get reps one way or the other. If it's first team, second team, they're going to be put into the side. And I think they're going to be finding their feet really quick. I think the offensive line is going to find their feet really quick, and they're going to put in, they're going to put in their work. And I think you'll see Troy Faetano on the right, and you'll see Jones on the left. You'll be building this brick wall offensive line that's ready to push over people. I do like, too, another one. G'day, Brian Brown. What's going on? I do like the fact that Arthur Smith and the coaches are setting a pretty big discipline in terms of when things happen on the line, if there's a false start or a penalty, or somebody moves or reads the wrong assignment, they make them go and do laps. I kind of like that. I kind of like that old school mentality, right? I did see a funny thing that the two reporters from Steelers.com, I don't remember who it was, but might have been Wolfley and someone else, right? They were talking about how, could you imagine if Chuck Noll or Bill Cowher, they had to write articles every single time that a coach yelled at a player, Bill Cowher was a very fiery guy. From what I watched when I was younger, Bill Cowher was a very, very fiery guy, yelling at players all the time, right? All the time. Oh, sounds good, Kelly. Sounds good. Yeah, 100%. We'll do a longer show, man. I'm here. I'm here till whenever. We'll do a longer show. It's gonna be a fun one. Old school, dead set. Yeah. And I think that the media brought that up. Like Ray Fittipaldo said, oh, receiver coach yells at disagreement at receiver George Pickens. Let's put it frank. The coaches are there to do that. They're there to inspire, to show them how to play, to put them in the best position to win, and also teach them life values and discipline, right? What's George Pickens, like 24 years of age? You know what I'm saying? Now, you're not going to go out there and haze someone or hit someone over their helmet like that stupid Browns guy, Myles Garrett, to get them in order. But you definitely can show some leadership and discipline like that. I like it. I think it's great. I think it's all awesome. Yes, that's the one. You guys are before me, right? Gen X is before me. I'm like technically a millennial. So I think millennial is like 1985 or 1980. What am I? We're you guys are the workers. Like the Gen X are the workers. What am I? 1989. I'm technically a millennial, anyways. But I'm not the millennial with the phone in his hand and like can't have a conversation. Because actually, it's kind of funny because I'm on the internet now. But I can have a conversation with you and put my phone away as well. G'day, Brian. What's going on, mate? So what I was saying, yeah, like they're pushing the players to make them feel a bit uncomfortable. I like that style. I like what Smith is doing in terms of you make a mistake, you got to run laps. The defense was doing it. I think the offense was doing it too. So that's kind of interesting to see that as well. They're feeding in, Troy Fautanu. I think Jones might have had, I don't know what side he played, but maybe Jones had some time off. But they're getting him ready for preseason, getting ready for pads on. And I think they're going to be some guys like Jones and Troy Fautanu who step up. And you'll see other blokes like Ciamalo as well play good football. So I like that aspect from that coaching point of like, we're in charge. Here's how we're doing things. Run the play this way and excel. And that way we're going to have, success. So I love how that's working. Got to appeal. I'm a generation. That's good. There's not a real generation called Y, is there? Why bother? Yeah, I love that. I'm pretty sure I'm a millennial. I don't know. It matters, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. It doesn't matter that much. 1982. Yeah, like I'm 34, so I'm like I'm in the middle. I know how internet works, and I also know how to have a conversation. But at the same time, I think we put I've met blokes and people who are like, I don't know, 22, 21 who can have a conversation. I'm not putting everyone in that basket. We tend to do that too. We tend to put everyone in the same basket. Oh, by the way, you're this, you're a boomer, you're that, whatever. All right. I like that, man. I think that's good. That's good. Why bother? I should steal that. I'm Generation Y. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to what Rod's comment was. Football talk, right? We're a football show. So in terms of Steeler news, I think storylines is happening around. Yeah, Zach Frazier winning his position, getting more reps at center. Stick on the offense for a minute. I think the receivers are being talked about as Roman Wilson has been talked about a lot today. Getting separation, playing one of his best training camps out of all the mini camps, rookie camps, and that kind of stuff. So Roman Wilson could be a guy that links up with Wilson, and we want to see it happen, right? So I think he's been talked about. Pickens, of course, he's been talked about a lot with the feud with the receiver coach. Other receivers, Van Jefferson had that big bomb with Justin Fields. I think he did an interview too. Oh, cool. Bubba's in here. All right, Bubba, when you give me a thumbs up, device not connected. Give me a thumbs up. And you know what we should do? We should just start the show again. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can get like the man. Bubba's actually there. He's actually on the ground, which is kind of cool. But yeah, and also like on the offensive side, it's the whole thing around. He'll be back. The whole thing around, Justin Fields. Like, he's a backup to me. He's a backup for the moment. This year, I think you start with Wilson and you see what happens. Woo. Alrighty. That was fun. That was a good time. Alrighty. You guys are... Oh, sweet. You guys have seen all the Steelers stuff. Blue Nose is 76. You've seen it all, Blue Nose. Fantastic. Yui's 24. That's why I like this chat too, man. There's a range of different Steeler fans from this, from 21, 18. You good to go, Bubba? Okay. Put my headphones on. We've got a special guest in the house. Are you back? He's back at home. Hang on. Wait a minute. Let's get him in. Alrighty, guys. We have a special guest from Steelers Dynasty Podcast. It is Bubba Brewer. What's going on, Bubba?
Oh, not much. I'm hot as hell.
Hey, you look a bit sunburnt.
Oh,
my goodness.
Look at my face.
Dude.
I had a tank top on. I was scorched like a big giant porpoise out there at 95 degree heat.
What? What's that to me? 95. Everyone knows the chat.
It was hot.
What's 95? That's like 35 degrees. 95
35 degrees. Oh, it was hot. It was stifling today.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's pretty hot. That's warm. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, far out, man. So how far are you from training camp, from Latrobe?
I'm about 45 minutes.
Wow. Okay, so you just drove there and came back pretty much. And you know what's too? Where'd you park?
45 minutes.
Where'd you park though?
You know what? My wife and stepdaughter dropped me off. I walked in, did a Facebook Live, kept walking in, and then kept walking the whole way around. I saw some of the offensive line guys. I went down there. Hey, Kelly. And Kelly saw my Facebook Live. So I was watching a lot of the offensive linemen because I went down by the trees to get some shade because it was hot as hell out.
Is there no shade around there at all? Is
just
everyone...
by like 4 or 5 pine trees? And that's where I was at. Like there was people trudging like coolers and like
so,
I went through the merchandise tent.
When you're a fan, can you take in chairs and that kind of stuff too?
Well, yeah, that's true.
To? Like, what can you do? What are you allowed to do as a fan? I've never been.
Well, you're allowed to bring, like, you can't drink, of course. You know what I mean? Yeah. But my headsets are effed up. But you can bring like a cooler full of water, and then people had umbrellas, and then people people threw footballs and stuff, young kids and stuff. But back when I was younger, it was a lot easier to get autographs. Like I was standing there by the rail when they were going up the steps there, and I'm going to be 53 years old, and there's kids flocking by me and shit, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get some footage. So what I did was I went around because I saw 46 snapping the ball. So I went down where they were at, and I got the video. I got to edit it, but I was yelling at him. I'm like, hey, Mark from Steelers Nation Australia challenged you to pick a ball.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll destroy him.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I got that. I got to get it. Because the thing is, I have to think quick because you never know what they're going to do, because the time he was going back over on the other side because there was 2 fields. So now the first team and second team are all on the other side, and it was just Christian and the Johnson, the punter. That's all they were doing on the other side. Yeah. So they had all these young kids, catching his punts. But the punter is cool too. I made him give you a shout out too, because he's an Australian dude, which I didn't even know.
Yeah, he's from I think down south again, from Melbourne. They're all from Melbourne, way. They're all from South Adelaide somewhere. I think he's down at South Adelaide.
Yeah, well, he gave you a shout out, so I got to get that edited because I'm not real good at editing. But I put it all on like 5 or 6, 7 minutes because they were all coming up the walkway. Now the other guys like Wilson and Fields were on the other side. They were still there. What they do is they get on golf carts and they'll loop around and get out of there. Mm-hmm. Now T.J. Watt, he did that and he came around and he came up top and everybody was starting chanting. TJ. Oh yeah. So he went over, and I think he was signing autographs. So those kids were loud as hell, and hey, they probably got some Watt autographs there because he just came and I think he was signing some stuff. So there was a lot of guys coming up, but and I got Christian come up again. I got him again. So he gave you a shout out. So I got that on.
Hey, I can't believe he said.
No, I can't believe I got it today.
Destroy.
Well, I'm going back down Tuesday. My stepdaughter's making a big sign with your logo, and you challenge awesome. 46 to a pickleball match.
Yeah, man, 100%.
So she's getting that done.
I've been playing 4 years. I know how to play. I'm not no bloody walkover.
He said 46. He said he'd kill you twice. Yeah, he said he'll kill you twice. I said, hey, he challenges you. And he was snapping the balls when I did it the first time to him. And I was like, oh man, I just better go for broke and just try. And my big mouth gets me. I'm like, hey, I got someone who wants to challenge you in pickleball. And then he turns around.
Do you know why I reckon he answered that though? Because it's something different. It's something, you know what I mean? It's like it's not just hey 46, can I have an autograph? He'd be like, oh whatever. It's like
I didn't even want nothing. I just wanted him to challenge and accept.
But he heard the pickleball and he knows that that he plays. So it's like, oh, someone's paying attention to me. And
he turned around too. And you'll see it. Yeah. You'll see it on the video. And I got it far. And then I got like him coming up. And I know sometimes I stutter my words a little bit because I think I got to think fast. But also too, it was 95 degrees. I didn't have any water. I didn't have shit. So I was like, holy hell, I'm 300 and some pounds. And I'm like bacon out there in the heat. But
and shade as well. No shade out there.
Just in those three long, big, giant trees. Now you had to get in. I ordered my ticket this morning through Ticketmaster. So the girls dropped me off. I had my ticket and they scanned it, but it was free, ladies and gentlemen. It's free to go to training camp. So I went to the big, giant, huge merchandise table. They have everything. They had everything you possibly can imagine. Jerseys, worn jerseys, helmets. They had footballs autographed from everybody. They had I think one Porter was like $400 autographed Porter football. From that to 300, Justin Fields was like $475 or something like that. They had the T-shirts, hats. Hats were going for $30. So it wasn't as packed as it was the day before.
$30 for a hat's not too bad, is it? That's all right.
$30 for a hat's not bad at all. I'm going down Tuesday. I usually get a nice Steeler visor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is though, it's meant to be like training camp is for the players and they're going for all the reps, right? But it's meant to be like a family atmosphere too, right? Even Mike Tomlin had an address the other day. So
there's a lot of kids, a lot of families. It was Sunday. You know what I mean? It wasn't like yeah. I wasn't like looking at stuff and trying to critique stuff, but I did see Fields throw some balls, and I seen that Allen quarterback throw some balls. He looked very sharp, even though he's a third stringer. And
he's played games though. He's played, I think
he has
20 games. Yeah,
and then Russell was throwing balls, but he was still, you know what though? He was shaking hands with everybody on the field, man. He was like an ambassador. He'd he's standing around and he was, giving everybody high fives and stuff like that. So I did see that. Like he seems like he's a team player, but he was throwing a couple balls. A couple of the players were hurt when they were coming up, and I always ask them, what's your definition of being a Pittsburgh Steeler? And I caught a lot of the guys off guard. They're like, well, that's a hard question to ask. I was like, well, not really. I said, just give me what you got. And then the problem is when they don't have their helmets and their jerseys on, it's hard to tell who is who when they're coming up that you don't know. And like you said, when I was talking to you, 90 players, there's a lot of players.
Yeah. There's now 91 at the moment because we're the German bloke from the international one. And there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players we forget about. And that's when it comes down to the cut down day. It goes from 91 or 90 players to 53. And then we get the practice squad as well. So who knows what's gonna happen in the future with another extra game, but it's a lot of players, man.
When they were doing their calisthenics, I got a little video of that a little bit. Najee Harris was leading them with his hoodie up over his head, and it was 90-some degrees out.
Yeah, wearing a hoodie. What's he doing?
I don't know, man. He don't need to lose any weight. He's probably a physical specimen anyway. But he had the hoodie on. He was number one row, leading them in their calisthenics, their running drills. You know what I mean? High knees and all that stuff. He had the hoodie on the whole time.
He doesn't really like the public attention too much, does he?
I don't think he does. And maybe that's why he wanted to zone people out. But I mean,
and that's fine. People are like that. There are many players in the league who've been like that, who don't really like the overall attention about me, and just show up and work. I think when he rocked up the training camp, he walked down the grass and not the stairs. You know what I mean? With Najee Harris. But so I think as well, like, he's trying to get a contract. He didn't sign the 5th year, so he's got to figure out something this year or next year. Like he hasn't got a job next year, technically, right? That's got to be weighing on you as a football player.
Well, that would, you would think that would weigh, but I mean, what I saw today was I saw him in a leadership role. That's what I saw today.
That's good to hear. I reckon, and you've been talking very highly about Najee as well. I reckon he's going to go off, and I think the Steelers would be silly if there's a big year to not pay him something and get him back next year, or 2 or 3 year contract.
Well, I was watching the offensive line too do their drills into the before, because they always have like 10-minute drill settings. And they were going around. I was watching more of the offensive. I saw Frazier snapping some balls today too, and he looks very, very good. Just snapping the balls, just coming off the block, when they were doing the practice stuff, even though it's all repetitive, but it's also, they were doing hand drills and stuff. And that was like 10 to 15 minutes. So that looked good too.
How far are you from the field when you're like?
I was probably maybe 15 yards away when I went down there to see the offensive lineman guys. And you got like a fence. So I just walked down slowly, took some video, which I need to edit, which I have like short videos, because you always told me, Bob, you need content. So that's what I was doing. And then, I went over and when I talked to, when I was yelling at 46 on the other side. And,
By the way, he said, destroy me.
He said he would destroy you. Yes, destroy you.
Words.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going down Tuesday again, so I'm going to keep talking shit. So I want to get when my stepdaughter gets that poster done with your logo, and the logo is going to be your logo, Steeler Nation Australia, and it's going to be like challenges 46 in a pickleball.
We'll make it happen, because I'm trying to talk to his team. He's a very busy man. Just got married.
He does his podcast, because I was at a benefit thing yesterday, and my buddy's son also does the Steel Here podcast, and he told me that number 46 is he met him. He's a good dude, and he does a podcast. They were trying to get their podcast bought out. I think they're going to do one more year, because they do it with Barstool Sports. And then I told him, I'm like, hey, Kevin, everybody that you had last year, Dante and Kenny Pickett, everybody you had are all gone. He's like, I know, Bubba. He goes, it's crazy. And he goes, Kenny turned into a real prick though afterwards. I was like, oh, okay. So
yeah, they were probably mates. I thought those two were like mates with each other or something like that. And then they fighting or didn't get to, But no, I definitely like when Christian 46 comes on and defends his stance against me, we'll make it happen. Pittsburgh 2026 for the draft is, look, players don't need to play. They're not in practice mode. That is probably going to be the best time I can verse. I think 46 for the in pickleball. So we've got 2 years to train. Well, I think he's still in his contract by then. Yeah,
you got to make sure that you defend your honor, because he was snapping a ball when I yelled it. He turned around. He goes, "I will destroy him."
That's so good. I love that. Yep. And what's he meant to say? Oh, a cower and you probably will beat me. Yeah, you got to back it up.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna take me. No, I don't think he's gonna take me. Nah. But he was cool. He was real cool about it when he came up too. Like I said, I got it, and I made him sure they said your podcast. So, but sometimes I flub up on my talking because I'm trying to do so much. But it was hot today. Like my wife drove me back home, and I drank like 4 root beers.
You're out there working today.
I'm out there working and trying to get stuff. Yeah. I had people surrounding me. I was like, hey, look, guys, I'm 50-some years old. I'm not getting autographs. I'm getting video stuff for my podcast. And they're like, what's your podcast? Yeah. And I had one of the hats on.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, they're okay. We'll have to listen to you. I'm like, okay. Well, I said, my buddy, I said, we do some stuff. We collaborate with a gentleman in Australia. And I said, he's challenging 46 to a pickleball thing. I got to get him. I said, that's the biggest thing I got to get today. And that's the only thing I got to get today. And I'm glad I got it today, but I'm still going down Tuesday, and I will get more.
I mean, there you go. Let's get this in the works for the next maybe 2 years. You're a wrestling promoter, right? Can you not promote this Steel Nation Oz versus Christian 46 Yeah, we can get some people around that. We can find some pickleball tournament place and we can get it going.
Oh, we could do this live. We could do it like live, and then especially if you jump on his podcast and challenge him again, he's not going to forget a gentleman from Australia challenge him in pickleball, no matter what.
No.
That was, you just don't come out and say that. And I think I had, like I said, I had to take the chance today, and I did, because sometimes I do the crazy stuff out of the norm. But
that would be so much fun. Like, I think I'd probably, if we played singles, I would probably get a bit nervous playing, but then finally I get into a bit of rhythm, I'd be fine.
okay,
But I think doubles would be fun
lateral
too.
movement though. He's got some good lateral movement.
I got to go watch him play. I got to go check the tape because I want to see how he plays.
I don't know.
You know. All right, that's so good. And also g'day to Dotsy Mania. My mate Dylan here. He's a massive wrestling fan. I know you do the wrestling and been part of wrestling all your life. He went out to Perth. You know, Perth, they had the Hell in the Cell. No, what was it? The chamber match.
Oh yeah, the elimination chamber match.
Yeah. He went out there with his other mate to Perth, all the way out there to watch them go crazy. So I sometimes go around. He's called himself Dotsy Mania now because his name's Dylan, but Dotsy Mania. He's crazy. But I sometimes go around his house. I watch like the Royal Rumble. I watch like, you know, all these other shows at SummerSlam, and I'll see moves that I have never seen in my life, but they're just like the normal ones now. I see like a side kick or a super kick, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell? And
well, as long as they don't hit the side of their leg, they're okay. They hit the side of their leg, it's
they jump off the ropes. They jump off the ropes and do a big side kick. And I'm like, man, some of these, because I saw a bloke the other day on AEW hang off a cage, and they fell through the table.
That's how they do it, though.
It's insane. It reminds me when Taker threw off Mankind off the Hell in a Cell.
That was in Pittsburgh.
Was it really?
Yes, that happened in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
98.
How do you even think? How would someone even think to do that? Like, well, how would Mankind even think? Okay, or Mick Foley think I'm going to jump off the freaking.
He told Taker throw me off. He told Taker throw me off, and he's lucky he didn't break his neck. I mean, Jeff definitely
he could have died, right? Yeah.
He had his tooth through his nose. I mean, through his lip.
Yeah, and then I think when I remember seeing that, I thought that was like gum or something. It was his tooth up there, wasn't it?
And then he fell again, and then the steel chair hit him in the head. Like, I mean, he was just messed up.
He's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, let's try and transition back to Pittsburgh Steelers talk. And
I'm all about Pittsburgh Steelers football.
All right, I want to know, and this is a really bad transition. There was no transition at all. Fuck it. I just want to know, what was your favorite thing today? Like, what would you see and that gives you kind of like hope for the season coming up?
For me, just the way the whole team was just rah. Just the whole team. I didn't see Tomlin, and I talked to the offensive quarterback coach on my way out, and I wish I'd have got some video of him.
What's his name? I forget his name.
I said, welcome to Pittsburgh. And you know what I said? I said, hey, you guys will be in the top, how about the top 10 offensive? You know what he told me? He goes, we want to be higher. I said, well, that's good too. I said, I just wanted to get you in the top 10 guy because, we had Matt Canada, and he was like.
He's new as well. Is it Tom Arth, the young dude?
He was young. He was young, but he was actually very, very cool. And he thanked everybody for showing up. Like he was pretty cool. Like the unity I saw between offense and defense, the whole team, you know what I mean? Like I said, when I saw Russell Wilson high-fiving people and shaking their hands when he was like getting a couple reps throwing the ball, but then he would take some time and just sit back. Like that's what I wanted to see. I mean, Fields looked good throwing the ball. He did. Allen looked good throwing the ball, and number 18 looked good throwing the ball. So all the quarterbacks to me look good from what I saw, but just like you are, and I know you are because I watch your show all the time, and you're ready for Steeler football like I am. Like
I'm ready.
It was something when you're coming around, around the bend, coming around past the merchandise table, and then you're going right into Chuck Noll Stadium, and then you're seeing them already starting to do drills, and it was a sight, walking in there today.
Yeah, so that bloke you talked to, Tom Arth, he is new to the Steelers. We have what a lot of new coaches do on the offense.
Yeah, he was the offensive. He's the offensive quarterback coach.
Yeah. He served as a passing game specialist from 2022 to 23 for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. So he was cool. He was cool. He was cool today because I said, Steelers offense, and
in the top 10, coach. He's like, what? No, higher. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, you're gonna say higher. I'm just getting us in the top 10, buddy. But I guess he's got more aspirations to get past the top 10 in offense because we haven't been in the top 10 offense of any categories in many years.
A long time, since like 2016 or whatever, like a long time since like AB and that. So no, we have like Zach Azani. I think he's been making waves there as a receivers coach, getting involved. I think it was Matt. The other ones is Matt Baker and Mateo Cambu. So we've got some more guys, like more coaches on the team. But what are your thoughts about Zach Azani in this receiver thing? How he's doing his approach to like George Pickens, and they're apparently fighting or whatnot.
Well, he's not putting up with any crap, and he's got to make him like, hey, look, I'm okay with that too, because really, I mean, look, people in Pittsburgh are thinking, Pickens is a diva or whatever. I don't think he's like that, but he's young, so we don't have any veteran leadership to put him. Yes, I did see Zach. I did. Just to keep him in status quo and go from there. Because realistically, I mean, Pickens is going to be the lead guy in our receiving corps. So he's going to butt heads because he's not getting what he wants. He's not getting all those. Yeah. Everybody wants all those passes. And this receiver coach is putting him in his place. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, neither do I. I think it's great. I think it's someone who, as a receiver coach, it says on the Steelers.com, he's a receiver coach for 7 years now, so he knows what's up experience-wise.
What he's doing. He's been
he's leading, and he's doing what the coaches are trying to do, which is implement their offense and try and have these players to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's great. I don't care if they're fighting or whatever. They're fighting. They're fighting.
No, because you know why? It's the competitive juices are flowing now, and it's hot and it's and wait till they get the pads on. It's going to be way worse next week or this week.
Next Tuesday you're going, right? Tuesday.
Yeah, because they don't have practice tomorrow, or I'd be going down. But I'm going. I'm going down Tuesday. It's at 10 o'clock. Thank God it's not so damn hot. So I'm going down at 10 o'clock. And then I'm going Friday Night Lights at Latrobe is Friday. So they'll be under the lights at Latrobe, which is huge. That's where people get their autographs. They go out and they, look the style and fit the part going out there and running a couple plays. And it's good for charity. It's good for the Latrobe High School. They make a lot of money. So it's a good night for everybody. I mean, last year I snuck up on the field, so I'll see what I can do this year. I don't know.
You might be able to get in there and play some center.
No, I can't bend over. I'll be dead.
Wait. So can you film? Like, are you allowed to record?
Well, they did mention today about high profile camera lenses. They didn't want people. You can't do that. But I had my phone. So it's really not great.
Do they care if you have like a phone?
I don't think they care if you have your phones, but if you got like a camera and you got like a tripod and you're up there
in a podcast,
you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So they can't stop everybody with their camera phones. I mean, if you got a good phone and you're taking video, like I was taking video shorts, you know what I mean? And I was doing a couple Facebook Lives, just walking around and talking, and people were like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
That stuff.
They're probably thinking I'm crazy, but
that's what I would do. I just do stuff like that. I do little.
That's all I was doing because I think Kelly asked me if I was going doing a live for the Dynasty show, but I don't think you can on your phone do a live. The only time I could do a live is through Facebook, and I did a Facebook Live on the Dynasty Facebook page.
No, you can. You can definitely. You can do it on your phone. It's just a bit different.
Can you do it on your phone with the YouTube? See, I've never done that.
Yeah,
so
I'll show you after in the black and gold room.
I'll be more prepped for Tuesday.
I saw there's another bloke. I don't know if you've met him yet. Mike Drop Sports. Jason. He was out there on his phone. I'm just wondering, like, maybe the Steelers don't want, the big production of like a podcast and that distraction. But I'm sure you'd be able to be near a tree and film and then talk behind you as you're watching.
I seen some guys with their camera packs with the wide lens. Like when I was shooting a couple of the videos, when I was asking one of the Steelers, "What's your definition of being a Steeler?" He's like, "Who are you? You media?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm a podcaster." So
what did he say to that?
The question, you know what I mean? Like, but I didn't know who he was, and that was the sad part because he didn't have a jersey on. He was in a white shirt. I think he was injured. I thought it was Patterson, but it wasn't. So
well, he got injured. I think Rodney Williams got injured yesterday, but I think he's okay. Hopefully, he wasn't around. He wasn't wearing his sling or anything like that. He felt awkwardly yesterday. But no, I think you'd probably be able to get away with, doing a 10-minute update or 5-minute update on just talking to yourself with this, guys behind you. That wouldn't be too bad.
Well, they're not going to stop everybody with their camera. There's no way. Because, I mean, even in like major events and concerts, everybody's got their camera phone out now recording stuff. They can't.
They probably just don't want the overall distraction of one big.
Yeah, you got a tripod and you're out there like, oh hey, with a big giant sound buffer and a boomer, and you're out there like that. State cops are coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I don't want that.
Well, and they like the state cops are walking around. They don't mess around. Like you can't be in certain areas. They have a lot of volunteer people working down at Latrobe. Mm-hmm. So they all have yellow shirts on. Most of them are a lot younger. And then they ride around in the golf carts and four wheels to make sure that people are not going to the places that they shouldn't be doing. So
yeah, well, everything's kind of open, right? It's a campus, isn't it? Isn't it a campus?
It's a St. Vincent's campus.
Yeah,
like it's been like that since the whole time. They always been there. So it's a little different. Like I was talking to a guy, man, hey, when I was 12 years old, it was easier to get autographs. It wasn't this high security stuff, but I mean, after COVID,
and I bet you when you were younger, you could probably walk around to the dorms and stuff like that. You can walk
my sister ran and got Chuck Noll's autograph before he went into dorms, and then I got Mean Joe's real easy back then. So, and that was his later.
Did he throw you a Coke?
Well, he didn't throw me a Coke. He put his hand on me. He's like, hey, kid, calm down. He goes, I'll get you your autograph. He put his hand on me like he was going to physically manhandle me. But for me being 12, I was a big kid, but still. Yeah.
They probably a lot of players would obviously get over, I think, a lot of stuff. It's very I saw TJ Watt running down and every single kid is surrounded. Like they have to put their hands out and do the high five. After a while, day 5 or 4, you're going to get a bit over it, aren't you? You're going to be a bit like, put your hands up in the air.
Well, Johnson, the punter, started from down below and he signed autographs the whole way up, though. It took him a half hour to 40 minutes. On both sides, and he was coming the whole way up, and that's when I got his video, and and he was signing autographs and stuff when he started talking, so he was cool. And then the lady beside me, my grandson's 13 years old today, says we brought him, and I'm like, hey lady, I said my birthday's tomorrow, and I said, but I wish I was 13 again. And,
did you ask me about the Bill Burr thing, or was he kind of over that? You didn't?
Well, I did kind of. I was like, hey, there he comes, Bill Burr, but I didn't want to say it to him. Because I was trying to get some footage because I didn't want to be an ass, but because I was like, hey, everybody thinks you look like Bill Burr or Brian Burns, one or the other. I wasn't sure.
He's probably got that a million times, I reckon.
And he was cool, man. He was so cool. He was talking to everybody.
Oh. I was going to bring up as well. Sorry to interrupt you. Before you jumped on, I was going to bring up there was a tweet I saw today, and this was about Johnston, right? Cameron Johnston, the Aussie punter. He's been playing for the Texans. I think he's going to be a good one. I saw this. This was by, hey, everybody. Alex Gazora says, Steelers punter Cameron Johnston punted from his own 10-yard line. The ball hit the opposing 30, bounced and rolled, hit the front right pylon, knocking it over like a bowling pin. I think we have our punter. 3-year contract.
Well, he was booming some kicks, and I bet you I was down there when he was booming it because I was down there when he was kicking balls. So he had a bunch of young kids, catching those balls. Mm-hmm. And he had a high.
That's pretty cool. I like that too. I like the kids getting involved too, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, they had the yellow shirts on. I think they were all volunteers. You know what I mean? Okay. They bring the guys' helmets and shoulder pads back up the top so they don't have to carry them and stuff like that. But he was booming some kicks. And I know I've heard some people like, hey, welcome to Pittsburgh. Thank God you're not Percy Harvin. I heard that today too.
Yeah. Oh, with the Harvin stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think we're kind of I think this team is, and you've seen it as well, it's definitely moving on from maybe some of the Steelers that, didn't fit the mold, kind of say, with the Pickett's or the Deontay Johnsons. I liked him, but didn't really fit the mold, and now Punter's gone, and then cut a lot of people. What else did you really see over in training camp? It's like you were there today. Like, what did you see them do? Any defense? Like, you see them any picks? Anything like that?
They were doing a little bit of other stuff, but then they were competing on the other side. So they have like the first team and second team against the first team and second team on the other side. I heard a couple commotions with somebody catching the ball. I think Jalen had a nice little run, I believe. But they're really, most of the guys are not in super duper pads, and they're only, maybe going 50%. Like when I got there, I saw Fields throw a nice pass to, Pickens. It was just, warming up in the offensive stance and doing stuff like that, a little bit of drills. But, this week coming, tomorrow they're off.
Yeah, but they're not going
Oklahomas and stuff.
They're not going too hard, are they? They're, like you said, they're just doing, fitness things or going through the motions, pushing the sled up, moving the side, little drills, right?
From what I read, and I didn't see that today, but I know Mark Madden was pissed because Russell Wilson was hitting the sleds. That's what I hear. He was hitting the sleds, and good old Mark had something to say about it. But you know what, though? That just shows that Russell Wilson wants to be with the guys. They're in the trenches. He wants to show that he can probably move a sled too. And but like I said, him walking around and shaking and high-fiving people is something that I didn't see that last year when I saw all those other quarterbacks down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can see his leadership being a veteran on the field today. And he wasn't even really doing anything besides he threw a couple passes, but you saw him more of high-fiving and shaking everybody's hands today.
I agree with Yuli. Yuli says I can't stand Mike Madden. Actually, I think I deleted him on Twitter. I was getting over his takes because he's bad.
He just does that. That's all his spiel. Yeah, I drank a beer with him, but it's all his spiel and how he does it. I mean, he's never
plays
been
that
on
role, right?
Yeah, he's never been on a date in 50 years.
Yeah, right.
I mean, legitimately, unless he paid for it. Other than that, he's not getting. Nobody's loving him just to love him.
Yeah, but I think with what's refreshing is. And some people say it's a bit corny, but with the Russell Wilson stuff, he's buying in. He's come here for Tomlin and other guys. Cameron Hayward, Minka wanted him to come here. Like this whole idea around. Is it? Look, I got another tweet I want to bring up too. Right. This one I was going to bring up too with Alex. Is it Alex Kozora? No, it was quarterback number 1. Do you think there's a quarterback competition? I don't think there is.
No. No. There's no way. I talked to a little kid, a younger kid, who came the whole way from Chicago just to see Justin Fields. Yeah, right. And I was like, are you a Steelers fan or a Chicago Bear fan? He's like, I'm a Bears fan. But he had a little bit of family. He had a Fields jersey. And I'm like, why are you even here? And I said, he's a Steeler now. He goes, well, that new quarterback we got's good, but he is so great. I go, look, Justin Fields is not going to be a starter. I said, he's great talent, and I said we're going to use him in certain categories. But my God, kid, for you to come the whole way from Chicago to try to get and then he didn't get the autograph because I saw him on my way out, and I was like, "Did you get it?" And he's like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Oh man, you got to go to Chicago empty-handed, kid." I
do find this thing funny around Fields. I'm not against him, but we've been told, I think, and Mike Tomlin has said numerous times now, Omar Khan have been saying that Wilson is the guy. He's a pole position guy. They haven't announced it yet, but they always do this.
They don't need to. You could see it. You could see it down there. Just how he held his presence. Just him going and talking to the linemen and high-fiving the guys and doing whatever. He was still throwing balls. I mean, he wasn't going going back, and then, he was just going back a little bit and then throwing a couple, just to get his arm, loosened up. I mean,
I reckon the Steelers did a really good thing. Maybe if he has hurt himself, they've given now the fans to see Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. They've given Fields a lot of time, a lot of prep before we get into now there's no rule. Is Wilson and holding Fields back, all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, Fields has now had 4 days to show everyone who he is. But Russell Wilson's our guy. And I'm pretty keen to see the fan reaction when Russell Wilson starts throwing TDs and winning, because that's going to go crazy. Go the other way, but I think if he's already bought into the idea of being number 1 and he's the guy for the Steelers, then I think the fan base can get really behind him once he starts winning.
Well, I took a big, huge bet on FanDuel. I got Russell Wilson with giving me 5 rushing touchdowns this year. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I see that happening. That's why I made a big bet. And I'm a gambler, but I also see him being the comeback player of the year too. Is he
allowed to be comeback player of the year? He played. Do you have to be missing time?
He had a shitty. Well, no.
Oh, so it doesn't matter.
He had 26. I mean, he wasn't hurt. No, okay, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't take anybody to the playoffs. He had 26 touchdowns. So if he takes them to the playoffs and then wins a playoff, I mean, that's pretty much a comeback, I would say. I mean, I'll just
Well,
go
I guess
with that.
you know what, they really stuffed it up last year. Someone's came back from the dead. They gave it to Flacco.
Yeah, well, that was ridiculous.
How's that?
Yeah,
Like that is something where I think Goodell goes nudge nudge, wink wink. Or
right.
everyone bet the cornerback who survived or came back from death, and they gave it to the other guy. That's just insane to me.
And then also too, their defensive player of the year, you know what I mean, had less statistics than our guy, and he got defensive player of the year, and they didn't want to give it to TJ because they just don't want TJ winning every award. So TJ has to go out this year and win, and TJ's got to go out and get 25 sacks. I mean, he gets 25 sacks. I mean, he's a shoo-in. He's got to break the record, and then he's your NFL defensive player of the year.
I think there's a bit of that Watt fatigue because didn't JJ Watt win it 3 times?
Yeah, he got it all the time. Yeah.
So then he's got a one to that Watt fatigue where they took it away from him in that Lamar Jackson sack. I want to bring something funny up. Is my mate Dotsie Mania? I don't know if you played. Have you played NCAA? 20,
no, I used to. I haven't played video games in a while. I got beat by a 6-year-old kid once, so I haven't played one.
Yeah, you just retired. So there's the guys from EA. They put in like fake names, and one of the fake names they put in there was Patrick Ennis, which means when you put the P dot. They did that for real. It's in there. It's in there. It's on. Like they know what they're doing. These guys who code games, they're putting stuff all the time. So he's in there.
I might play. I don't know because I quit college playing Madden 92. So I mean, I was undefeated, but that was 1992, and there's a lot more plays now. So.
Oh yeah, and the game is like in 92, it's like it was 2D or whatever it was.
It was a H-back toss and a right or left. Yeah, it wasn't much.
John Madden football was talking.
Yeah.
99 says touch. How do you say it? Touchdowns.
Touchdown.
Your Yinzer accent.
Well, I try. Well, I'm about an hour and 20, an hour and 15 minutes from the Berg. I probably have a lot of Yinzisms. Especially when I swear a lot when they don't score touchdowns. I get very irate.
Yeah, and let me give you a shout out too for if anyone doesn't know, you're on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. This channel here with
sometimes I say I'm on your podcast. Like today, I was effing up. I was like, I don't know what podcast I do anymore. From my Triple B experience to the Dynasty podcast to your podcast, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. They probably thought that Christian 46 probably thought you were Australian. Like, who's this guy? What's this guy's name?
He thinks, man, this guy knows his pickleball, which I have no idea. I've never seen it, but
yeah,
I've never.
I love it though. That's probably the first time he's been asked at that camp for sure, because no one knows he plays.
Oh yeah, and especially when I go down Tuesday with the poster and I put the poster out, and if he comes walking up again, I'm telling you, he'll take a glance because I'll just be I'm just one of those assholes that you got like a boil on your ass that don't go away.
Yeah, no, it's good. I love the fact that he said destroy. That means there's no chance.
Twice. Yeah. Twice he said he destroyed. Twice.
Jesus.
Yeah, I got him out when he was out in the field, and then I got him coming up when he was signing autographs.
Yeah. But it shows you too, like we're in that position as well. Like Chris Boswell, I think he's gonna have a great year. Do you know Chris Boswell is 950 points? He's like about 400 away from Gary Anderson.
Gary was tough though in the 80s. That's all we had.
He's 4 years away. Chris Boswell is another contract away from being the leading Steelers all-time scorer.
Wow. Because Gary,
he's about 4 or 5 years away.
We got Gary Anderson from the waiver wire from the Buffalo Bills, I think, for $100 because in the 80s, it was all Gary Anderson because we didn't have anybody.
Yeah. Well,
and then he played for Minnesota, and he had a long career.
Chris Boswell was going into his I think 10th year or 9th year, which is crazy.
Well, he'll be pretty close this year, and definitely next year he'll probably be the number one scorer probably next year.
No, he's about. I think he's. Where is it? He's 33, so he needs another new contract.
Okay,
but
he should get it.
He's got. What is it? Where is it?
Because you're a kicker, you could play until you're 40.
He's been playing since 2015. So he's almost playing 10 years.
And his first game was against the Chargers because I watched that game about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's a Michael Vick game.
He's got I think about 940 something points, but he's about 400 away from Gary Anderson. I just saw that the other day. I was like, oh my goodness, Chris Boswell. I think we got him. Christian 46 signed his contract. The punter signed his contract, and now we got those guys should be pretty good. And then in terms of defense, like you've got Queen. I think he's going to be.
Oh, they were chanting. They were chanting for him. He was down below on the other side. I didn't see him. I mean, I seen him on the field. He was leading the pack when he were doing the agility drills, but he was down on the other side where they can scoot out on the golf carts. He was down there signing autographs, though.
Was he doing this?
He might have been. He looks big. He's big too. He's not small.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be fun to watch. I think he's pretty much told the Ravens that he's not part of them anymore. Like he's a Steeler now.
Well, once you sign a contract and you're black and gold, you're done. Wherever you were before, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, but so many Ravens teammates and I think fans were going after him. So he's just like, no, I'm done. I'll push you away completely.
We sweep them this year. They can do a lot worse than that. They can start jumping off a pier.
Oh, yeah. That would be – if we get him this year again, they'll be 9-1. And the only time was Trubisky. Trubisky was the only time.
If we go 4-2 or 5-1 in our division, we're into playoffs. I mean, I hate to be that kind of guy, but I'm looking at that last 8 games, like I said before, and I haven't made my picks yet. But 5-3 or 4-4, we're into playoffs. I mean, we're into playoffs. We just got to get over the hump and win a game. That's it. And this offense, it'd be totally.
Are you more excited this year? Because I think there's more.
I'm very excited. I'm always excited because I've been a diehard Steeler fan all my life. And I get this is the time, and I know you we're getting into it because we didn't have much to talk about on any of our podcasts. But now is a time is every day there's some kind of Steeler news. Something happens every day. If you're not up and you're not current, you don't know what's going on. And then pretty soon, like next week next week they'll be playing preseason. So we're getting into that. So we see these younger guys. That's what I want to look for. Younger guys. I'm not worried about the older guys.
Yeah.
And then go from there. And then go right into beating the crap out of Atlanta.
G'day, Steelchick 46. What's going on? Maybe that's Christian 46's wife.
Maybe, and maybe she wants to defend her honor and kick the ball against you. She might destroy you too.
I don't know. I think that's probably.
And these guys might be looking. These guys might be looking for you because I even said, "Hey, Steelers Nation Australia." I said, "Look him up." He goes, and then Johnson said, "Oh, I'll look him up, mate." And I'm like, "Okay." I go, "He'll take you on the show."
I will in a heartbeat. I tried looking for his Instagram. I tried getting Jordan Bear on the show a few years ago, but I just couldn't get a hold of him.
I can't get anybody because I think I'm too extreme. I don't know.
But sometimes it's even hard to get their Instagram or their Twitter or their email. It's just hard to find them.
Right.
It's hard to grab their attention,
Right.
Then
you got to pay big bucks and try to get a hold of them somehow. Through their agent or whatever.
Yeah, I can't afford.
Yeah, I can't afford that either. I'm surprised I got Cordell Stewart one time.
Yeah, I think as well. I don't think that they probably wouldn't do that because if they would have asked for money, then maybe I could probably shout them out and say, "Oh, this guy's asking for money." You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's all about time. When I had Brian McFadden on the show, it's just about time and energy, right?
Well, and yours is a different entity because you're from another country and it's cooler and it sounds cooler. Like over here, everybody and their brother is a Steeler podcaster. You know what I mean? So you got to try to be creative and inventive and try to be humorous like me and Shane are, but we're competing against so many people, but we don't care. I just love doing it. You know what I mean? So
guys, we just got to try and figure out how to get Shano a better mic because once he gets a better mic, we're good. I reckon.
Well, we're doing our show Wednesday live he's on vacation and he's going to a Steeler bar and he's going to do it live while he's eating wings. So
he's
Shane
everywhere.
Shane is something else, man.
What do you call him? Your special field correspondent.
He's my special field correspondent. He's out everywhere. He gets these guests. He does once his West Virginia show kicks off. He just started doing this podcasting stuff like recently because I remember when I got into it and we went to school together. I'm a little older than he was, and I wanted him to come on and talk about his military experiences through my Triple B Experience show. And then years later, I brought him on, and then he's been doing podcasting stuff ever since. Like he's a natural. He's good.
So I will send a link in the chat for everyone and who are catching it after too. We are going to wrap up shortly though. It's been a lot of fun.
I just popped on because actually Kelly McCourt's like, hey Bubba, Mark's getting on, and I'm like, I was talking to my wife and I'm like, hey baby, I got to go. Mark's doing a show. I said I'm gonna go on Talk Steeler Football.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
what else did you really like? I just need to see. I think I need to see that Steelers versus Texans preseason game, so I can watch it once, then watch it again. Do you know what I mean? I need to see that kind of like football
Right,
in like in
right.
10 days.
Because you know it's there.
Then when I can then I'm like, okay, I see my guys running. I see, I don't know, the third or fourth running back, or I see Jeremiah Moon, a linebacker, or I see Peyton Wilson, I see Roman Wilson catching. I want to see that football, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, it's coming around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like this stuff is all good. This training camp stuff, and they're going through it, and the family's getting involved, and everyone's having a good time. Mike Tomlin's getting all Smokey Robinson. I didn't know who that was, by the way, but he's
a Detroit Motown singer.
There you go. He was there today. I think I've seen a lot of Troy was there the other day.
Yes, he was.
Troy Ryan Shazier was there. I think Big Snack was there. Cameron Hampton. Oh, by the way, you know what we should do? I haven't done a shout out yet. I get fired up when you get fired up. You notice that? You get fired up.
I appreciate that.
I saw the other day. Let's talk about this before we end the show. And the Steelers Hall of Honor was
I see that too.
Jason Gilden.
Yes.
Big Snack, Casey Hampton.
Awesome. He's not big. He's not that big anymore. He lost a lot of weight.
Dick LeBeau.
Dick LeBeau is honored. Yes.
He should be honored. Who was the
Willie
other
Parker? Fast Willie Parker.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about those four blokes?
Willie Parker, one of the greatest runs in Steelers Super Bowl history. He was great. Dick LeBeau, the architect of that Steelers defense, he should have been in there a lot long ago. Casey Hampton, we haven't had a nose tackle since, pretty much. And Jason Gilden was a pretty good outside linebacker. So everybody, they're just going to be running out of room, because every time that these Steelers have a great season and great careers, where do you put them?
Yeah, and they've got about, I think, like 50 odd players in the Hall of Honor now, because they did one big. They made it like 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah,
they created it, and they
need to get a building in Pittsburgh. They need to get a building in Pittsburgh and just have a building in Pittsburgh and put all their stuff in there, and then people go and see it instead of just having around the stadium. I mean, a little bit, but they can make it bigger.
Well, they've got to. I don't know if you've ever been there. They got to downtown. I've been there. I go there every time now. The Pittsburgh. No, sorry, the
Western
Pittsburgh
Pennsylvania Sports.
Yeah, the museum, the Heinz. It's fantastic in there.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the guys we have. It's a really bad graphic, but Jason Gilden, Casey Hampton, Dick LeBeau, Willie Parker, class of 24,
and they'll all be there
now.
They'll all be there, And Dick LeBeau is a machine anyway. I mean, he's got to be in his mid 80s, and he was a machine his whole career. And he got into
he had 64 interceptions with the Detroit Lions.
He was big. He was a super player for Detroit Lions. He was, and he finally got in the Hall of Fame, and they all wore Dick LeBeau jerseys when they went to Canton.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Canton?
Yeah, I've been there once. I'm trying to figure out if I can go there when I'm there for Pittsburgh, but I don't know just yet. Because when I get there, it's going to be your Thursday at 2 p.m. Then Friday, then Saturday we have Steelers versus Ravens, which I still need to organize a big bar thing, so we can watch Steelers versus Ravens in a bar somewhere in Pittsburgh. But it's just limited time. You know what I mean? So when I arrive, I fly from my Wednesday, my Thursday, leave at 8 a.m. I get there at your 2 p.m. in Pittsburgh. And I'm like going to be zoned out for 24 hours.
You'll be busy.
Done. But
yeah, you should save some time, some sick time. And then when Big Ben gets inducted, because it's going to be a Steeler Nation from whatever when he gets inducted, it's going to be something.
I could be honestly flying over every now and then, because I'm keen to go next year too, to maybe training camp or do something, and then definitely 2026 to verse Christian 46, destroy. Righto, mate.
Twice over.
I love that. That's going to happen. We're going to make that happen. And like Big Ben's thing. If I have to choose one of them, I'd probably choose. But I think as well, you would
choose pickleball with 46.
Oh, I'd even choose.
Is it special?
Yeah, but even for the Hall of Fame, I'd probably go to see Debo. But I've got a theory. I reckon they're going to wait for Big Ben and Debo to be together. I just think it's going to happen because 43 has that moment with the interception, and 43 Super Bowl has Big Ben to San Antonio Holmes. I think I'm right. I think they're going to
No,
wait for Debo to get in.
If he gets in, that would be the reason why you get in, because both of
Yeah.
them. But it's very, very hard after Ben because they have so many Steelers in Canton. They get pissed off. Every other team gets pissed off because we have so many.
But with Big Ben, I think they're going to do James Dibber Harrison together, and they're going to because they're mates. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's just my theory anyway. And also because that's why Tom Brady did another year, I reckon, because he didn't want to do both Big Ben and Tom Brady together.
Right.
He wanted his own light.
Yeah.
And it's now like, I think, 2 more years away from Big Ben to be
pretty
close.
Like yep. Pretty close.
Isn't that crazy? Like every year with the Steelers so far, it's always been a question at quarterback. We don't even know who quarterback's going to be next year.
No,
we had such a consistent quarterback for 17 years,
right?
And now it's like, who do we have? Like it's very intriguing.
Special field correspondent Shane has his ideas. It's Fields in the third game, but that ain't happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I took his bet too. I put on Fields for MVP and Coach Tom won. It win me about $89,000 if I get it.
Oh yeah, I took Steelers win the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson as the MVP.
Yeah, I think I did something similar. I did Coach T with Fields and Coach T, because I think if we get that far, where we win 12 games, 13 games, I think Coach T finally gets his Coach of the Year. I don't think he's never had it.
No, last year he should have probably got it with the team he had. I think.
Yeah, but they gave it to the stupid Browns. Got it.
Yeah, because he had three different quarterbacks, and TJ Watt was out a couple games, and you know what I mean, like. And we didn't have a high power offense, so
the NFL's trying to make the Browns such a thing. Same with the Bengals.
The Browns are the Browns, and they'll always be the Browns.
But they're trying to make them. I think give them highlights, and they gave them the defensive player coaches and players and all this kind of stuff. And Jack Flacco was,
And the thing is too, Mark, like a lot of teams talk schmack on the Steelers, like that running back from the New York Jets recently was talking shit on the Steelers, and we play him this year. He's not even worried about the Steelers defense when he plays us. The running back from the Jets already talking schmack. So they always talk.
Oh, yeah. Brees Hall, whatever. Said,
Well, Hall can talk all he wants. And when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked by TJ Watt about 3 times, and then his Achilles goes out, and then he's on the Pat McAfee smoking marijuana. I mean, see you later, buddy. Because that could happen. I mean, TJ Watt. I
saw one thing as well today. I saw Aaron Rodgers fighting with Wilson Garrett, like having a bit of a tiff off. I don't know, man.
He's off the rocker, man. He's off the rocker. He could have been one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, just my opinion. But he just, I think he's too opinionated, and he's not team oriented.
He doesn't turn up to practice. He's never there for training camps. He goes away to Egypt. He goes away all different places and does his things. Right. He's always throwing his receivers under the bus. Like,
right.
I think the Jets are trying. I think they made a big mistake with Rodgers.
Well, I think they did too. But if I had to pick between Ben at the time and Aaron Rodgers, it was to me. It's always going to be Big Ben. As crazy as it sounds.
Dead set. All righty, guys, let's get out of here. It's been an hour and 28-minute show. I know you're going to crazy. I know you're going.
It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day.
Yeah, I appreciate you going out there and talking to all the players for me and saying hello. And awesome. I need to try and get there if I can next year, but I keep saying that. But at least I'm going to Pittsburgh for Christmas. I'll be there for Christmas.
I'll hold the fort till you get here, and then Tuesday, I like I said, I got the poster. We'll see if I can get him to stand by the poster, and I snap a picture, and then I send it to you, and then he'll be like, I'm going to kill him double, so I
will destroy you. That's just
he knows now. He knows now.
I hope I make his podcast saying a fan from Australia says he wants to verse me pickleball. I hope that comes up.
Well, I got Tuesday. I'm gonna keep talking shit Tuesday too when I see him. So the more I talk, the better it is.
God, that'd be a lot of fun. I'm getting keen if it ever happens. Alrighty. So, and I'm just keen for the season. I'm just keen for this. I think pads are next. You're going down there Tuesday. We'll try and link back up again. You do your podcast, Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday. I might do some other stuff because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my other podcast and the Steeler pod. I'm so busy. I don't even know what to do with my life.
Yeah, you got the podcast on Wednesday. I'll talk to you
Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock that day. We'll figure something out. Gets more reports. I think gets more hitting. But really, the fellas is getting ready for preseason games and getting ready to find out who's going to be on the roster. It's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the fun. I'm looking forward to it, man. Like I said the other day, I said I was this happy. This is how happy I was.
That's pretty happy.
Hey,
that's pretty happy.
And look at this cool bloke here, man. This is Queen. Look how cool that guy is. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
he's the shades on, the big beard.
He's good.
He's ready to go.
He's going to shut down some tight ends. That's all I care about.
Oh, I'm just keen to see him hit someone legally because you can't hit him. You can't hit him like Debo anymore. Alrighty. Let's get out of here, guys. Thank everyone in the chat. You've been awesome. An hour and a half show. Thank you for Bubba coming on the show. From
you're welcome, brother. Anytime.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, TD. Thank you, Pittsburgh Toddy. Thank you, 99, who supplies me with the great music. And I'm still working on the big video. I've been chipping away at that for the countdown. Thank you to Steel Chick 46. Thank you, Daredevil. Thank you, Rod in the house. Thank you, TD. You guys have been all fantastic. And I think everyone in the chat they're like us. They just want to see football and get back to that weekly Sunday, Najee running over people, scoring TDs, and just going 1-0, 2-0, and hopefully having a big year. Thank you to Yuli. Dotsy Mania. We'll do one more. Thank you to Kelly, your mate Kelly, and JJ52 says, "What's the deal with football?" That was my Seinfeld impression. All right, guys, let's get out of here, man. It's been fantastic. Where's me goodbye? I'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. Left the light on. See you later. Bye.